Good afternoon, everyone. We need everyone to settle down. We need your attention. Can we get the attention? Again, my name is Levi Holmes. I'm president of the Newark BronzeShields, and I really want to take this opportunity to welcome all you young stars to this educational forum. So first, let's give yourselves a hand. For those of you who don't know, the Newark BronzeShields is an African-American police organization in the city of Newark. We do a lot of things in the city of Newark in terms of fighting for justice within the police department for African-American police officers. We do things in terms of recruitment and promotional things within the police department. But a large component of our activities is to help young people and build our own community within the city of Newark. So you're here today because as young athletes, we know that your coaches and your teachers and everyone is focused on you being the best person you can be, being the best athlete you can be, and the best student you can be. But what we wanted to do is invite you here with some distinguished guests so you can get some firsthand information from professional athletes, educators, and college coaches about what you should be doing and you should be focusing on as young high school athletes. A lot of times in situations, we allow things to come into our lives and distract us from our goals, from our focus, what we should be doing and should not be doing. So what I want to do is I want you guys to really, really pay attention. I want you to ask questions. A lot of you want to go to college. We have two college coaches here from Rutgers Newark. We have the Giants here. We have the mayor here, who's a former principal. I want you to listen to them, and I want you to ask questions because this is an opportunity for all of us to help all of you get to where you say you want to be. Is that all right? Is that all right? All right, so without further ado, what I want to do first, I want to bring up the mayor, the Honorable Mayor Raz J. Baraka, to greet you.
Thank you, thank you. First, I just want to thank Rutgers University Newark for being a partner with us here in the city of Newark. I want to thank their coaching staff, the leadership here, Chancellor Cantor, of course, everybody affiliated with Rutgers University Newark for making sure that they're a true partner here in the city. Can we please give Rutgers a round of applause, y'all, please. This is our local university, and we have to, understand that we need them as a partner here in our city, that's for sure. And I got to thank Levi Holmes and the BronzeShields for the work that they do every single day in this town. But for work they do outside of being police officers, they make sure that they put together programs like this so they can have a different relationship with our community that's outside of them arresting folks for things that they've done wrong, but promoting us to do things that are right and good and help our communities go forward. So round of applause for the BronzeShields. I know they're doing something around domestic violence a little later too, which is very, very, very important to us. And last but not least, most importantly, we want to thank the Giants organization. Want to thank these gentlemen for coming out here. Please let them know. Let's give them some Brick City love. We appreciate they could be anywhere, y'all. We want to show them that we appreciate them coming here, being a part of what we're doing. This is not their first time. Some of the schools here are beneficiaries of some equipment that the Giants and the BronzeShields gave to the city of Newark, to the organizations here. We are deeply, deeply indebted to them. Because they could be anywhere else doing a bunch of things. I always see these guys on TV in different cities with different people, and I always be like, why they don't never come to Newark? So I don't get to say that anymore because we have a great relationship with the Giants organizations through the BronzeShields, and they do incredible work for us. So as a principal, a former high school basketball coach, I'm excited that we're having this, and hopefully we have this more and more and more because I think our athletes need to hear honest information. They need to hear from folks that have went through the things that you're going through now, sometimes successfully. And I know some of you, everybody here think they're going to be a D1 pro ball player, whatever it is that they're doing. And unfortunately, that may not happen for you, but it does not mean you should not be striving for that. I mean, whatever it is that you think you should do, you should stay on that path. And despite all of the negativity that people tell you, because they're supposed to tell you that, they get paid to tell you that, they're your counselors, they're telling you you're not going to make it, have a plan B. I'm telling you, focus on your dreams, do what's necessary. If you want to be a pro ball player, do what you can to make that happen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because all of the skills that you'll learn along the way will benefit you in everything else that it is that you need to do, even if you don't land there. The number one skill that I look for that we need in the city that's lacking from most people, because we got a whole city hall full of brilliant people, full of people with a lot of degrees and letters behind their name. There's two things that they lack. One is courage. Courage is important because courage allows you to do the things that you think of in your head. There's a lot of things you think of doing in your head, but you don't have the courage to implement, and courage is important because, you know, the Wright brothers thought about building a plane. They just had to have the courage to get in it, right? And so you have to have the courage to do what's necessary, whether it's go to practice when other people not, doing the extra laps when your stomach hurting, when the white stuff get on the side of your mouth because you're out of breath. You know how that works. You go a little longer, you go a little harder. You have to have the courage to do those things. And the second thing, which I think is most important, is collaboration. That's the most important 21st century skill that you need, collaboration. And you learn collaboration by being on a team. Most people are not on teams. Everything is an individual thing to them. And when they get to the corporate world, when they get to public life, when they get to the place where I am, they can't get it done because they can't get it done by themselves. They need 2 or 3 other folks or other people that are not with them to help them get it done. And they can't get it done because they do not know how to collaborate. They don't know how to work on a team. They don't know how to play their role. They don't know how to lead teams. And that's important. So the things that you're going to learn in the pathway of what you're trying to make out of yourself are going to be important and essential skills that you need to keep with you that's going to help you be successful wherever it is that you go. So hopefully you hold on to that and you listen to your coaches. Where your coaches at? Give your coaches a round of applause, please. You listen to your coaches and you follow in their program that they have put in place for you, the system that they've put in place for you, and you follow that system and you learn the skills that you need. And even if you're not on Golden State or Cleveland on the championship night, you somewhere else, you can make your own championship based on whatever field that you decide or God puts you in to do, based on the skills that you've learned on a journey to fulfill the dreams that you have in your head today. So God bless you. God speed to you. If you have any questions for me, I'll be here. I'm going to hang out for a little longer, as long as I possibly can. I want to thank the Giants again, y'all.
Thanks again, Mayor. The mayor hit on something that's really important to the BronzeShields, is that as police officers, sometimes it breaks our heart when we have to catch some individuals who are young, promising young people, and we have to arrest you. That's not what we want to do. We're really, really focused and we're really, really committed to trying to help you before you get to that point. So what we want to do is we reach out. The Newark BronzeShields, we reach out in different ways. When you hear us reaching out, you should respond because we're here to help you and we want to avoid those situations where we have to put handcuffs on you. Everybody understand that? All right, so what we want to do right now, I want to just introduce to you the members of the New York Football Giants who are here. We have number 54, Olivier Vernon. 94, Dalvin Tomlinson. 31, Mike Thomas. So these individuals took time out to address you, to hopefully inspire you, motivate you, and give you some type of direction and assistance in you reaching your goals. So I want you to give them your undivided attention. And what we want to do is you have questions for them, raise your hand, ask questions. They're here to answer any question that you may have. Somebody want to start with a couple of words?
Man, what's up, y'all? Again, my name is Mike Thomas. Call me Mike T. Grew up in Houston, Texas. Hey, H-Town, what's up, man? Ended up getting a full scholarship to go to Stanford, and then, like them, had dreams of, getting drafted, go into the NFL. Actually went undrafted, did not get drafted. Was actually on practice squad for my first year and a half. And then my second year, I kept working, didn't give up, whatnot. Miami picked me up. And my first game was only supposed to play on special teams. OV was still in Miami. Shoot, 2 DBs go down. Ended up getting in the game. We playing against Tom Brady and the Patriots with the playoffs on the line. Ended up catching the game-winning interception. So From that was my second year. I'm going on to year 7 now. I took something that was a negative, going undrafted, having to be on practice squad, getting the opportunity, working hard toward it, turning into what was going on to my 7th year in the NFL. So for me, I'm all about just grinding, setting the goal, whatever your goal is in life, working towards it, go and make it happen, not letting anybody tell you no. So many people told me no. So many people told me why I couldn't do it, why I wouldn't make it, how I need to move on. But I kept grinding because I knew in my heart if I worked toward it and if I put my mind to it, I could do it, man. So I'm going to pass the mic to them. If y'all got any questions, I don't care what it's about, from high school to college to the pros, man. Just holler at us. We're going to keep it real with y'all, all right?
Hi, everybody. Olivier Vernon, defensive end / linebacker. Everybody call me OV, but I'm from Miami, Florida. It's my 3rd year with the Giants, 7th year in the league. Thing goes by real fast, but yeah, I was in Miami with Mike Thomas, and I remember that game when he made that one play and he took advantage of his opportunity when he got there, man. He made a name for himself when he was down there. So I'm glad to have him over here, be a part of that blue. But I'm glad I was able to come out here and speak to y'all, man. I see y'all young cats out here, man. I mean, the reason y'all came out here, y'all try to, open your ears and get some type of knowledge, man. I know at y'all age, I was young like y'all too. We could be hard-headed, we could be knuckleheads and, feel like we know everything. And, I understand, but you got a short limit. You won't realize it at this age, but your window for opportunity is very, very small. A lot of cats that I played ball with back in high school, some of them, they still struggling to this day. So I had to change my number so many damn times because they're trying to hit me up, holler at me about helping them out. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I remember when I was there, when I was out on that field or after school, I wouldn't even go home because we was out there trying to get better, in that weight room, doing whatever we could. The biggest thing I can say, man, it's not the short-term thing that you think about, like, say, for instance, things ain't going your way in a short-term period. I remember my sophomore year in high school, they had a down year. I had a down year, and, to me, I ain't throwing the towel. I just came back, started working hard, wanted to be the best in Miami. So it was basically just hard work, dedication that basically got me to this point, man. And, I ain't going to keep on talking. I'm just going to wait for y'all questions so y'all can just holler at us and keep it moving.
Yeah, my name is Dalvin Tomlinson. They call me DT. I'm from McDonough, Georgia. I went to the University of Alabama. Yeah, y'all already know about them, so. But yeah, this is my second year, going into my second year of the NFL. I was drafted by the Giants 2nd round last year. And my biggest thing is y'all in high school, y'all still young. So when I was in high school, I graduated with a 4.4 GPA. Yeah, I was a multi-sport athlete. I did football, track and field. I ran the 400 and 200. I was a 3-time state champion in Georgia in wrestling. And also I played soccer. I was a striker. And yeah, I feel like academics is the biggest thing because you got to have something to fall back on. Because everybody wants to be a professional NFL player. It was sometimes I didn't think I was going to be a professional NFL player because I tore my ACL twice. And yeah, you just have to have the books is everything because if you don't have the grades, you can't go to the dream school you always wanted to go to. And I always wanted to go to Harvard, and I denied the scholarship offer I had to go to Harvard just so I could go to Alabama and play football. So I would just say make sure y'all focus on those books and everything because in the long run, you want to go to college and do something after football or any other sport that you may do and be successful at it. Because I have 2 degrees from college, and my first one's in finance, and the second one's in financial planning. So one day you're gonna have to hang the cleats up and things like that. So you're always gonna want to do something you want to do. So my biggest thing is just keep your head in the books.
Hold on right quick, man. Hey, man, you can wake Buddy up right there, right behind y'all. Yeah, all y'all wake up, man, because I ain't come out here take time out of my day to come talk to y'all. Y'all gonna be asleep or have your headphones on. Hey, buddy over there, I don't know what your name, behind 72? Yeah, you right there. Yeah, take your headphones off, man. Man, we ain't come out here to just talk to y'all. Y'all ain't finna listen.
Get it right,
All right.
OV. Get it right, OV. Get it right. What's good, bro? What's up?
My name is Jakai Coker. I go to Westside High School. As a student athlete, I am preparing to transition from high school level as a student athlete to a college level student athlete. Can you share with us your experience from transition to high school to college to the professional level?
So, especially from high school to college, which most of y'all are gonna have to go through, the biggest thing was time management, bruh. Like, for everybody. Like, in high school, you're used to your teachers, you know, they'll stay on you about assignments when they do. Did you turn in your homework? You know, y'all doing work together in class. When you get to college, I haven't even talked about like your college schedule, but when you just your classes alone, your professor's gonna give you a schedule. What's it called? What's the syllabus? They're gonna give you a syllabus. It's gonna have all your assignments on there. When those assignments are due, it's on you to make sure, like if it's a paper due in 2 weeks, that you get it done. If it's homework due, reading due, you gotta get it done, and that's for every single class. And then that's not to mention your college schedule. Wake up, breakfast at 8. You got from 9 until maybe 1 at the latest to get all your classes in for the day. 1:30, you in meetings. You go from 1:30 to about 3:30 in meetings. 4 o'clock, you're on the practice field. You go from 4 to 6 at practice. Lunch or dinner hall, they close at 7:30. You got to shower, get to dinner before they even close at 7:30. So from 7:30 till about, 9, you got time to do homework. If you're in the social life, you know what I'm saying, whatever, talk to your fam back home, talk to your girl. You're trying to get to sleep, you got to wake up, do it all over again. So it's that time management, man. Like, that's the biggest thing that you got to adjust to when you're going from high school to college. And ain't nobody there. You know, you can ask academic advisors, you can ask your college coaches to try to get you some assistance, and there are resources there to help you. But for the most part, it's all on you, man.
My name is James Bell from Westside High School, and how important was community service to you as a student athlete, and please compare it to the importance as a professional athlete?
That's a good question. I always felt like it was always something big. Always big for me. I know my high school, we ain't never really have anybody come out there and do anything for us. I mean, we had people that came out of our high school, but they never came back and did anything for us. But, you know, I went to the University of Miami, so when we went down there, we did a lot of community service out there. And, you know, seeing the kids and talking to them, you know, I'm not really a big talker, but, you know, if it comes down to being able to give back, you know, all the blessings you get in life, you're supposed to give them things back. You can't be selfish and keep them. You know, how is you supposed to have everybody else around you grow? And that's one of the big beliefs that I've always had, and, you know, I'm always happy to join in helping my community and, you know, the young adults around me.
My name is Danielle, and what do you feel is the greatest benefit of coming to meet the student athletes at Newark, New Jersey?
I personally feel like the best benefit is just to be able to give back, because growing up, coming out of high school, when I was in high school, I remember Jason Hayward, he played for the Chicago Cubs now in baseball in MLB, and I remember he came back to my high school, he graduated from my high school, just talked to me one time about if I put my mind to it, I could accomplish anything I want to accomplish. And just to be able to come back to multiple schools around the country and just talk to the kids, you never know if that one talk could change somebody's mind or just make them focus and pursue the things they always wanted to do. Just those small things, just to be able to give back and talk to younger people and just motivate them to keep them pushing and pursuing, even though times may be hard, because all of us go through periods in our life, because I know before my senior year, my mom passed away. And it was tough on me, but I had a lot of people come back and talk to me and keep me focused on my grades and my athletics. And I accomplished everything she wanted me to do until this very day.
My name is Jasmine, and how would you describe the impact social media has on your career, and what advice can you give to student athletes now concerning how we involve ourselves with social media?
Right. So social media is a big part of, all y'all lives right now. Like everybody's on, regardless if it's Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, or whatever else is gonna come out. It's impacted my career in a positive way because I use it for all my endorsements, engaging with the community, engaging with, fans and whatnot, right? But as you know, and they can attest to, there's a lot of athletes where it hinders them, man. It messes them up. One wrong tweet, they could lose millions of dollars. They can get cut from a team. I done seen that happen. I done seen guys, not only get cut, lose endorsements, but, some get in trouble with the law, all because of social media, right? So for all y'all, keep using it because it helps you build your brand. The more you build your brand, the more marketable you become. So it is a good thing if used in a positive way. But just make sure everything you put up there, understand. Everybody can see it. You can't take it down. Even if you're a racist, somebody done already screenshotted it. You know what I'm saying? It's there forever. You feel me? Snapchat, y'all think it go away? It don't. I'm telling y'all, it don't. And I literally just gave out a scholarship back home in Houston, and that was the last part. He checked out with everything, but we said, okay, let's go check out his social media. And that happens across the board. They looking at all that. I know y'all know that, but they looking. So just understand, whatever y'all put out there, just know people are looking at it. It's there forever. You got to own up to it, all right?
My name is Sakiah Campbell. If there was one event that happened or a decision you made that was not so positive, would you go back and change it? And if not, what lessons did you learn from it?
Okay. Well, I like to live my life without any regrets. Of course, there's some things that you want to change, but it's out of your power. I feel like everybody has their own destiny, and whatever you've done, from today on is going to shape that. I know one thing I probably wish I really could have taken more seriously is probably my school. Where I'm from is all about sports, and I was fortunate enough because I dedicated everything, blood, sweat, and tears. Like when everybody else wanted to go hang out and do whatever they wanted to do, I was in the gym, I was in the weight room, I was outside, raining, heat, it don't matter. I dedicated everything, and I also had my own personal things, for my family, which also helped push me to where I got to. But, my thing, looking back now, I'm probably, out of us three, I never graduated from college, and I want to go back to get my degree because at the end of the day, when I do have kids, hopefully I have kids, I wanted to be a prime example to whenever you start something, you finish it, and that's how it is, that's life, and I see a lot of times, a lot of people like to be in and out, play both sides. You can't. Once you start something, go in there and finish it, man. You don't ever want to have that label on you that you don't put 100% in anything that you do, because everybody else around you, they're going to watch you. The older you get, the people you surround yourself around, people you work with, they all going to watch you, and they all going to see what type of character you have. And always in my back of my mind has always been my last name. Just like Mike T was talking about, social media, whatever you put on there, you represent yourself. You always represent yourself. I mean, I know you kids, and you want to have fun at the same time, but at the end of the day, you represent yourself. And other people don't know you. They look at you on the social media, on pictures, and they perceive a picture of you, and it's probably not even you. And I could tell you, a lot of these people that are out here that are perpetrating and trying to do all that stuff ain't really doing what they're doing or living like that. But what I can say is when it comes down to, you know, I envy that I can't, that I right now I'm saying right here, I'm embarrassed right now saying that I don't have my degree in my college degree. I feel like I let myself down, I let my family down, you know. I was fortunate enough to go to the University of Miami, and, you know, there was a private school, you know, a prolific school on the education standpoint, and, you know, I feel like, you know, I ain't completed. You know, I ain't go 100% into it like I should have. And, you know, especially for my parents, man, I want to get that done for them. So, yeah, if I could change anything, which I'm going to change, because I had the opportunity to, I'm going to change that.
All right, before we go any further, I'm going to introduce Coach Loughran and Coach Trevino from Rutgers. Now, these are two college coaches that are going to take their time to come and talk to you because eventually most of you want to become college athletes. Is that correct? So if you want to become college athletes, then you should get the commentary and the advice from actual college coaches. Coach Loughran?
Yes. How you guys doing today? I've been pretty fortunate to have been the college coach here now for 17 years. And I've coached some really good players and young men that have been in your shoes from Newark, born and raised. Matter of fact, you coached Chad Barnes, am I right? Pretty good player. So I've had a pretty good experience here. And I also want to give a shout out to Central High School. Our top recruit is Deanne McCrae, who's going to be a freshman for us next year. Okay? So through this experience, being here 17 years and coaching young men that have been in your shoes, what I'm most proud of is if they've graduated. They've gone on to bigger and better things, whether it's law enforcement, teaching, the business world. What I'm most proud of also is they learn how to be a student athlete. Like Mike said, the biggest lesson you're going to learn is time management. That's huge because you're going to be pulled in so many different directions. The next thing is when you're a student athlete, you're going to learn how to grind. You're going to learn how to get up and go to practice on days that you don't feel like it. You're going to have to get up and go to class when you don't feel like it because that's grinding it. That's learning how to work hard. That's learning how to persevere. That's learning how to make a commitment. And when you don't do those things, you let your teammate down. Because if you're not going to class and you play for a really good program, that coach will take playing time away. And what happens is you hurt the team. So there's a great amount of experience you can learn from playing college athletics that I promise you will stick with you for the rest of your life, okay? Our next speaker is our volleyball coach, Pedro Trevino.
How you guys doing? One of the things that I just wanted to add, which some of them, the Giants mentioned, was when you go to college, you're called a student athlete. As much as you love the sport that you're going to college for, you have to make sure that you maintain a GPA, and you have to make sure you get enough credits to be eligible. So that's one thing that you guys have to go. Like everyone has been saying, I'll reiterate it as well, time management is a big thing in college. Another thing that I want you guys to know is there is life after sports. I'm a prime example. I was lucky enough to play volleyball at NJIT up the street. I was able to get a great education. In my previous life, I worked in pharmaceuticals for 6 years. And one of the things why I got hired was because I was an athlete. Some of you guys will start to learn special skills that will help you in the real world. And a lot of people out there will hire athletes purely based that you are an athlete. I got put in charge of a project purely based on my boss told me she knew I wasn't afraid to be in front of people. So I had to give a presentation in front of directors. So as fun as football is, basketball, baseball is, I want all of you to really understand that once your college experience is done, if you have an opportunity to become a professional athlete, that's great. But if you don't, there is another chapter to your life after. Thank you. Who wants it?
Anybody else have any questions that they want to speak, that they want to ask? Listen real quick. The mayor, the Rutgers, and the Giants players took a lot of time out of their schedule to come here and in some form mentor to you. And I heard a motivational speaker speaking. He said this one time, and I use it with my daughter because she's an avid swimmer. He says when the opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. It is too late to prepare. When the opportunity knocks at the door, it is too late to prepare. So that means right now the opportunity is here. Sit up, pay attention, listen, and be attentive to the things that you will learn from these players, from the mayor, and from the coaches that you may go to their colleges. Everyone should be enthusiastic about this. Because if you look at it, society have written some of you off already. They have written you off. They're saying because you come from Newark that there's no potential here. But you have the chance to change that perception. The mayor's fighting time in and day out. My president, Levi Holmes, is fighting day in and day out, and the members of the BronzeShields are here to support you. Do not take it lightly. Sit up, pay attention, and motivate yourself, and motivate the player that's next to you. This is not just for the men. These are for the women that's here too. Women play a very important role in sports today. So they will not be counted out. Anybody got any more questions? I know you're not gonna let the ladies beat you.
I have a question, Mike T.
Yeah.
So you said you went undrafted?
Yes, sir.
Practice squad?
Practice squad.
Why didn't you quit?
One, because I made it a goal probably, just like them when I was younger. Pop Warner, middle school, that, my goal was to make it to the NFL. I'm that close. But somebody's just telling me I'm just not good enough, or the team's stacked. You got to learn a new skill. So instead of like having my head down and like, no man, like they not giving me a fair opportunity. I ain't getting my fair shot. I grind it, like OB said, man. Like I'm doing extra lifts per week. I'm doing extra drills on the practice field. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get noticed, just doing whatever I can to separate myself from everybody else. So I was preparing for that opportunity. And that opportunity might have never even came. Every week I'm thinking it's about to be that opportunity in San Fran. My name on the depth chart finally. Still don't get moved up that week. You know what I'm saying? But I said half my second season, halfway through my second season, dog goes week 15. Week 15 in my second season. It's only 17 weeks in the NFL season, man. So pretty much spent my whole second year on practice squad too, grinding. But I just believed in myself, man. I wasn't listening to what everybody else had to say. I knew I had the skills. All I needed was the opportunity. And like you said, you can't prepare for it. You know what I'm saying? Once it's there, had I not been practicing doing all those extra reps going against Tom Brady and the Patriots, like, come on, dog. Like, he would have ate me alive. You know what I'm saying? But I grinded. I was preparing for that moment. And when it came, I took advantage of it, man. That was it.
Thank you. And that was really important. I hope a lot of you paid attention to that, because I used to coach basketball at Barringer, and I coached basketball at Wheatway back in the day. And I talk to a lot of your coaches from time to time. And one thing that I hear from them is that a lot of you have fantasies about being superior athletes, D1 athletes, professional athletes, but you're not putting in the work. You're not preparing for that opportunity. What Brother Mike just said to you is that he prepared every day. He did extra reps. He did extra workouts. OV said he was out there, rain, sleet, and snow, getting ready, preparing. Coaches, are all you athletes like that? No? No? Coaches say y'all not like that.
What's up?
What you do right now is you have prime examples of putting in that extra work and seeing the results of putting in extra work, that extra grind. So a lot of you who are talking about going D1, playing on any level in college or being in the pros, you need to understand that these men right here before you are saying to you that they put in that extra work to get to the next level. I've been spending a lot of times at a lot of high schools. When I first became the president, we spent 3 seasons with the West Side football team. We was in a workout room, it'd be 6 kids there. 6. Coaches, I know you got 100% participation, off-season drills, right?
I don't know.
Listen, y'all need to get it in, y'all need to grind, all right? You got a question? Go ahead.
My name is Deshaun Dixon. I'm from Westside. Out of all the people in here, how many you think will actually make it to the pros?
What's the percentage? Yeah, so, I mean, we all could probably touch on it. The coaches know for sure, too. But, like, what's the percentages? 1%? Less than 1%, right? Like, that's what they tell you, right? So it's going to be up to you. Do you believe in that? Are you that 1% out of the room? You know what I'm saying? That's going to make it. Just to college, not even just to pro, just to college to get a scholarship or, like, you know, make it there. Like, you got to believe in that. Or will you listen to the statistics and all that stuff and let that deter you where you ain't even going to grind and work for it? Because if you believe that, then you're not going, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be part of that 99. You ain't going to be that 1%. But you got to grind for it, man. And, you know, that was something we all heard. I'm sure you all heard. Coaches, y'all talk about it every day. You got to be prepared for it, that you might not make it. Have a plan B. Like, all that stuff real. Like Dalvin said, OB said, man, like, we in college, there are times where, you know, I didn't think I was going to make it. They literally told me I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't going to make it. You know, I had to start thinking about what I was going to do after football. But you got to grind for it, bro. That's it. We got,
While I'm walking up, Coach Trevino, you said about life after sports. When you get student athletes, incoming freshmen, what type of advice do you give them in terms of selecting majors and things like that?
Yeah, well, one of the things when I'm recruiting guys from all over the country, you know, when they come in, yes, they want to play volleyball, but one of the things we do is we sit down with the guys to go over their majors and kind of start seeing what they like. You know, here at Rutgers Newark, we're big with criminal justice. Our business school is very good. So one of the things that I try to do, and I know Coach Loughran does the same thing, is we don't want any of you guys to fail. So we're here always to help our guys succeed and try to graduate within 4 years. And it's not always an easy thing, but one of the things like the Giants guys were saying is, if you want it, you can do it. All right, no one's really here to help you. Coaches kind of are, your professors are a little bit, but it is not like high school. So if you do really want it and you see it there, you can go get it.
Hi, I'm Coach Lightfoot from Eastside, and I wanted to ask if each of you could share a story of like a former teammate, either from high school or college, who you felt had the talent to make it where you are, but didn't, and then kind of pinpoint the difference between what you did and what they did.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, there's kind of a few, man. Like that 1%, that 1% is real. You know, when it comes down to, you have a lot of people say they want this, they want that. You know, and later in the long run, they want the big house, they want the nice cars, but then they're not doing anything about it. And all they doing is just, they dreaming about it, but they ain't doing nothing about it. And there's a lot of people that's like that. Because if it wasn't like that, everybody would have all those nice things, you know? So, yeah, I remember when I was in high school, man, I was probably the least talented guy on my high school coming in. I ain't start playing ball until I got to high school. So there was a lot of cats that was older than me that was doing their thing. And, you know, the much older I got, and I started seeing, you know, I was trying to be like them or better than them when it came down to the football field. And, you know, it got to the point when I started getting older, come my junior year, you know, a lot of the cats that I saw, looked up to, you know, basically back on the street, not doing nothing. And it test to that was like, they'd rather be out as soon as they started getting, you know, started feeling themselves, you know, start making plays and, you know, start getting some clout, start chasing random things, man, trying to be at house parties and stuff like that. All that stuff started catching up, and they started losing their focus on what they really wanted, what they was in it for the first place. And that's the one thing I never thought about losing was my focus. At the end of the day, I don't care about anything else but what I'm doing and how I want my life to be. You know, both my parents, they're not from this country. They came from out the country, so they had to make it. They had to make it here with nothing. And you know, I had my own path. They had their path. I had my own path. I wasn't gonna be living off of them, or, you know, or trying to follow the same path as what my dad was doing. Like, nah, I wasn't gonna do that. Nah, I had bigger dreams, but focus on it, man. At the end of the day, it's all about focusing, man. It's really simple when it comes down to it. It's not rocket science or anything like that. It's really simple. Like, if you got a list of goals that you want to do, you can write them down. You know, you can put a thing on your wall. You can watch it. You can look at it every day, or put it on your phone, look at it every day, or have a picture of something every day that you look at, so you don't lose focus of what you really want. You know, because at the end of the day, you only get one life. So how you want to live your life at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I could add on to that. Pretty much in high school, my mom told me, if you're not good in the classroom, you'll never be as great on the field as you want to be. You'll never be the player you want to be. So I had a lot of friends who didn't take the classroom seriously. Like in high school, I was the one taking like AP Chemistry, AP Calculus, AP Lit, all the AP and honor classes. And I took them serious. Just like if I was taking a workout, or if we had 110s, or if I wanted to make a game winning play in football or something like that, I took my classroom serious also. And yeah, that's how I was. I guess you can say pretty much you have to be academically stable, and pretty much you got to continue to put in work in the classroom as well as on the field. Because like in high school, I got photographic memory. It helped me get through high school a lot. It would pretty much almost anything, because I could remember chemistry formulas and things like that, or calculus formulas like on the back of my hand. And getting to college is not like that. You have to read. I hated reading in high school. I hated it. Then when you get to college, you have to read, because you may have to read like 40 pages of your book just so you'll know what the teacher's talking about the next day in class. But if you don't want to put in that work in the classroom, that's why we have the 1% we have today that make it to the NFL, because only 1% of people stay committed to the things that they've started off to do and finish the same way. And then 1% of everybody who started it continues to do it and be successful. So pretty much like earlier when you said how many of us in this room could actually make it, it depends on you. Everybody in this room has the potential to make it. But if you don't stay committed to the promises you make to yourself or your family, you won't. So you just have to stay focused and continue to do what the hard work, put in the hard work each and every day. And there's gonna be days like you don't want to wake up, you just want to sleep in and relax. But you have to go and do it. Like that's part of the grind. That's part of being successful these days. Everybody wants something to be given to them, but it's not. In the real world, after college and after high school, like you have to go and get stuff that you want. You got to earn it.
All right. Everybody got the same story. Like Mayor was talking, I know they have the same similar stories. Everyone in here have seen it, whereas, okay, there are people who have all the talent in the world, like the high school superstar, newspapers, scouting, rivals, five-star, all that stuff, don't end up making it to the NFL, right? I got the same story, so I'm not gonna repeat everything they just said, but just understand this, two things, with academics and then athletically. How many of y'all compete in the classroom the same way y'all compete either on the court or on the field? I'm serious. I mean, it's cool if y'all don't, but that's great. That's great if y'all do. And hopefully y'all competing with one of y'all teammates. You know what I'm saying? Not just everybody in the classroom, because if you're competing with one of y'all teammates, he compete with another teammate. The next thing you know, y'all whole squad over there got good grades. Y'all ain't got to worry about guys flunking off the team. Y'all ain't got to worry about, we don't have the grades when the college coaches come trying to recruit them. But that's what it takes, man, changing that mindset. So for me, back in Houston, that's how it was. We had all type of talent coming through my high school. Like, dudes made it to the NFL before, but we had probably like an 8 to 10 year span where college coaches weren't even coming through no more because none of the kids had grades. So my freshman year, me and the rest of my teammates, we decided like, nah, bro, we're gonna change that. Because we know we had the talent, but we're gonna compete in the classroom with each other. And sure enough, by the time senior year came, like, yeah, the numbers dwindled every single year, but 4 of us ended up going D1. But in the classroom, that's what it has to be. It has to be competing in the classroom, trying to get that A. Forget just B's and C's trying to pass, man. You're trying to get that A every single time. Just like you're trying to catch that pick, you're trying to score that touchdown. You're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to score, trying to get buckets and everything, man. Just try to compete in the classroom, same way you compete on the field. And then when it comes to, athletics, Hey, bro, if y'all not doing the summer training, I think a coach said they not, they don't have 100% participation with the summer workouts. If you ain't even doing that, then you ain't giving yourself a chance, man. Like 707 tournaments, yeah, that's cool. But when you get to college, man, there's grown men out there, bro. You 17, 18 years old. If you ain't physically ready, you're not gonna play. If you don't physically develop, you're not gonna play. Same thing with women. Like, you gotta put in that work in the summer, regardless if it's going to camps, if it's going, summer workouts, all that stuff, man. You gotta separate yourself. That's how you do it. You separate yourself from the rest.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Abdul from Eastside. I was wondering, as an athlete, everybody has a unique mindset. How is your mindset now as a professional athlete different from your mindset as a student athlete in high school?
Great. So obviously, high school is still a dream, right? I'm grinding. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm grinding. I'm trying to do everything that they telling me to do. I'm trying to do even more than that just to make it here. So now that I'm here, what am I doing to stay? Because every single year is one of y'all getting older that's either in the draft or, that's undrafted, and you hungry, you trying to take my spot, right? So how do I stay here, right? So my mindset is, how do I keep getting better? I'm not complacent now that I made it here. When I was in high school, I was hungry. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it for different reasons, family, that's just my dream, money, whatever. Now that I'm here, it's like, okay, how do I stay here? How do I have that 10-year career, 10-plus year career? How do I become, all-pro, Pro Bowl, whatever. So it's not being complacent. It's like, okay, I made it, but how do I stay here? How do I keep getting better?
Good afternoon, Coach Ware. This question is for DT. How did you go about your decision-making process between Harvard and University of Alabama?
That was a tough one. Knowing me, just growing up in an academic household with grades to everything, as a kid, I always said I was going to go to Harvard. This was a dream of mine. And I also wanted to go to UGA, being a kid from Georgia. And UGA didn't recruit me like I thought it was because I was an in-state kid, so they recruited us last. And with Harvard, that was just, football was my first love. Like, I was always going to make a promise to keep good grades and everything, but it was tough. I visited Alabama. I remember it was 2011, Alabama versus LSU. And pretty much Alabama lost by 3 points. And nobody scored a touchdown, it was all field goals. And just the atmosphere of the stadium just made me want to commit right then and there. And then I made sure that I wasn't just going to commit based off of athletics. So I went back again and I had a meeting with the business school, the accounting school and all that thing because I wanted to be in business. Because we all have family who struggle with finances. I grew up like that, and I wanted to make sure when I started making money, I knew what to do with it and keep it. So in the future, my kids, when I have kids, can have a trust fund and things like that, and have college paid for. So if they don't get a scholarship to college, I can still afford for them to go to college. And pretty much I sat down with them, and it felt like home away from home. And it felt like it was a place for me, and I felt like I would succeed in life if I went there. So that's pretty much how I made the choice to go to Alabama. But it's tough because I started off as a 3-star in high school. I ended up as a 4.5-star, just because all the different accomplishments I had at different sports. If you're you do multi-sports and you're successful in more than one sport, that just raises your chance to get a full scholarship, even a partial scholarship. And after I won state my third time, I had scholarships from everywhere in the country, the whole SEC, ACC, all the way from Georgia all the way to California. And it was tough because I knew I had to stay in the South because, being in Georgia, I love the heat. But I think Alabama probably had a little bit too much heat for me. But it was a tough choice, but I feel like I made the right choice.
DT, I have a question for you. You got a question up there? All right, DT, while I'm walking up there. So a lot of young people in the city of Newark, they have a lot of personal issues that they go through. And because of their personal issues, they feel as though they can't get to the next level. And they allow these things to take them out of focus. I know you went through some personal tragedies growing up. Could you talk about that and how you overcame them to achieve the things you've achieved?
Yeah. When when I was 5, I lost my dad to sickle cell. It was tough. I was too young to actually know what death was at the time. But growing up, I was successful. I lived my life pretty much just to put a smile on my mom's face. My mom was my best friend, and I did everything just to make her smile. And going into my senior year of high school, it was June 30th, 2011, and she passed away. That wasn't expected at all, and it was tough. At that point, I wanted to quit playing sports. I just wanted to give up everything because it was going into my senior year. I really didn't pick what college I wanted to go to yet. I had full scholarships everywhere. It was tough. And I have an older brother, and he pretty much came back home and just sat down with me and said she wouldn't want you to do that. So in some cases, athletes are selfish, and you do everything to benefit you. But at that point, I made a promise to my mom that whatever I do in life, I won't regret it, and I'm doing it for her. I would do everything that she would want me to do and be successful like she would want me to be. And I wouldn't give up. I'm not a quitter. I'm not gonna start, and I'm not gonna begin to start quitting. And just to overcome things like that, like God was a big part of it. Family. You may have family members you're not close to and things like that, but my mom always told me 2 things. Life is too short not to enjoy it, and life is too short to hold grudges against people. So you have to forgive and forget and move on. Because if you hold those grudges and hold those problems built up inside of you, you'll never progress as a person that you want to be, and you'll never progress in life. You'll be stagnant in the same place. And just to overcome it, you need a small circle of friends, best friends, family, brother and sister. You have to be able to talk about the problems that you have, because if you keep them pent up, it's just going to make them worse. So you have to have somebody to communicate with, a coach, or anybody, somebody you can trust and just talk to on a daily basis, because they'll open up to you about their problems. You can give them advice, and they give you advice about your problems. So just pretty much you have people around you that can help you and benefit you in positive ways.
My name is Muhammad, and my question is, how important is it to have a support system and people to motivate you in your career?
I feel like it's super important to have a support system, simply because I was a rookie last year. I was a 2nd round draft pick. I played beside OV, and they expected a lot of me, and it was stressful just to come to the New York Giants. A guy, Jonathan Hankin, was there before me, and he was a great defensive tackle, and I had a lot to live up to. And I remember starting off training camp and things. I was messing up a lot of plays. I wasn't playing tough enough and things like that. And you got to have a support system, because I could come and talk to OV about any problem I have, and pretty much I remember OV and Snack sat me down. It was like, I need to be more physical on the field, because the starting position is mine, but I have to go get it. I can't give it away. I could give it away if I want to, but they drafted me to come here and start and play. And after they told me that, I went out every day, not for myself, but to make sure that the guys next to me could depend on me. And I started all 16 games last year as a rookie and made first team all-rookie team and the #1 rated defensive tackle last year. So a support system is everything, because if you don't have a support system, especially on this level when productivity is everything, you won't make it.
Last two questions.
Michael Bright out of Shabazz High School. In life, people have mentors and guides who encourage them to achieve greatness. During your times, who were your mentors or guides?
All right. Shoot, my mentor, some coaches that I used to have back when I was in high school, and meeting older guys. I had one of my best friends. He was like my older brother. He looked out for me when we was young, and he got on me. I mean, he got on me. I probably would have took a different path if he wasn't on me like he was. Being on my school, being on my grades. I know he had looked at my report card one time, and he was low key about to fight me real quick, and I realized how serious that he was about it, because he was looking at me like I was him. because he dropped out of high school, and he never had no support from nobody. I know his some of his family members, like his brother that he was cool with, close with, ended up getting shot. And I guess he looked at me like a little brother, and he wanted me to go around on the right path to get right, man. And you know, when it comes down in life, you're gonna cross paths with a whole different types of people, a whole lot of different type of people. And I feel like it should be within yourself to just keep your ears open. You know, listen. You know, not just listen to anybody. I mean, you don't do that. You listen to somebody that you could see yourself trying to imitate, like how somebody carries themselves, and you know where they at in life. You know, because there's a lot of wisdom out there, man. You just got to go out there and catch it if you really want to. My biggest thing was not trying to block all of that, and it helped me. It helped me in a whole lot because it helped me, you know, hearing some of the guys' stories that were around me, and it helped me by not joining along the same path and not making the same mistakes as they did. And I feel like at that young age, man, I think the biggest thing is listening, keeping your ears open, man, because you could cross paths with a lot of mentors and they can walk you by because you know they see you hard-headed and you ain't trying to gain what they're listening to. I mean, people make mistakes. I'm not saying nobody's perfect. Ain't nobody perfect in life. But what I'm saying though is you got people that's out here that's really trying to help you and who really cares about you, and you won't even be blood. And they just looking out for you for your best interest. If I could say anything, man, just listen. Listen to the people that actually really care about you, man. You know, because they really, really want the best for you. You know, they really don't want you to, because they've been on this earth. If it was somebody older, one of your coaches or anything like that, man, they've seen more than you have seen, man. They've been on this earth longer, man. So there's not a whole lot that they haven't seen. And I know when you're young, you don't look at it that way. But, you know, if I could just say that, man, just listen. Keep your ears open, man, because it could be in your best interest.
One more question. While we're walking up, Mayor Baraka, who was your role model?
My role model was my mother and father. You know, they still are. My father's no longer with us, but my mother's still here. They're my role models every day. The hard work that they put in this community, in this city, raising all their children here, doing what they do every single day. I had nobody better to look up to but them, and they stayed on me constantly. So I love them and appreciate them.
My name is Alvaro Baez, and I play for Eastside. I just wanted to ask DT, how did wrestling like have an effect on the football field?
Wrestling had the biggest effect on my football career simply because wrestling is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's you versus somebody else, and no one's to help you. You're by yourself. It's a one-on-one sport, and pretty much mental toughness was the biggest thing I got from wrestling, simply because you'll be out there and you'll hit a wall. You can't push anymore. Like you're out of gas. But you have to be able to break through that wall just to get to a new level and to better yourself each and every day. Because I remember my sophomore year, I started doing this thing. It was like a circuit, but I wasn't rotating out. And I was wrestling for 42 minutes straight. And it was probably like 8 other wrestlers, and they'll rotate out every minute. And I had to get at least 3 takedowns on them every minute. And for every takedown I didn't get, I had to run an extra mile at the end of the week. So it's the toughest thing I've ever done with being like an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman or someone who uses their hands a lot. It helps you learn a lot of leverage because you have to control another human being's body against their will. And pretty much you learn leverage and things like that. That helps out a lot. And be honest, I'm not the strongest defensive lineman on the team or even in the NFL. I'm not nowhere near the strongest. But since I wrestled and I know leverage, I know how to control somebody else, it makes me play at a high level. And a lot of people don't know how to control other people. They don't know the leverage that I know. So I have a huge advantage over a lot of players I play with and against, simply because of wrestling. And I feel like I wouldn't be on this stage talking to y'all today if I didn't do wrestling, because there's plenty of times the mental toughness I got from wrestling came in full effect at Alabama, and it's 110 degrees, and you have a camp practice, and there's no one to rotate you out, and you're in for like 14 plays straight. And as all football players know, that's a long time to be on the field. Or if you're running 110s and 6 a.m. with your shirt off and the sun's beaming at 6 a.m. and it's humid, and you can't even barely breathe, but you have to continue to go because you don't want to let the man next to you down. And you don't want to be that guy that everybody has to do an extra rep because of you. So mental toughness and the leverage I learned from wrestling is everything I am today and made me into the young man I am today. So without wrestling, I wouldn't be me.
All right, guys. This whole forum was basically the focus of education. We want you to realize that your next step has to be college. So it's really important, especially for you seniors, to realize that you want your next step to be selecting a college so that you can take your sports career to the next level. So we need you to focus on your classes just as well as your sports, like they said. And I know, just like you all, I was born and raised in Newark. I went to Weekway High School, but I knew I wanted to become a police officer. So I went to college. Even though all police officer wasn't required for you to go to college, I still got that extra education. And I have a master's. And I really did enjoy college. And college is very funny. You can get easily distracted in college and lose focus, like the guy said. But the most important part is remembering that your next step, you have to have a plan. Because high school is not the end.
That was Yolanda Graham. Let's give a hand to her because she's the one who put this program together.